we're talking about e-commerce, and I wanted to kind of highlight today I want to talk about import and export together. And some people said, Mike, you should talk about either import only or export only. But I think there are differences, but I think there's similarities with the product. To sell into China, you have to have an established brand, I think, in the home market, right?
So if you've got any questions about quality assurance, product compliance, labeling, you know, the really interesting things. But what you have to know if you don't want to get your stuff confiscated by, say, the US customs or, well, the EU customs.
A lot of questions from this side before.
Yeah, there's questions here.
Actually, into China, not out of China.
Well, we have Dominic. Is anybody here? I think Chinese consumers are really smart, and if you say it's famous in America, like we have David from Kraft, and of course there's no question it's a good brand, right? So he has no problem selling in China, but I think you have to have a really established brand. And also you said 500 million RMB? 500,000. Still a big number for me, but so would you say you have to probably have to do export first or build your brand first overseas if you're just starting out?
I don't work with the market in China, but I do have two friends from back home. They are, I don't know what to say in English, but they look the same, from the same name. Anyway, that's irrelevant. But they started a private label brand. They started exporting Swedish brands have been around for a while, Swedish coffee. We're not really famous for that. Now they sort of dropped all the old licensing contracts because they were overtaken by the initial brand owners, right? They used them as to try out the market, to invest, put in Tmall and so on, when that became a big thing 2 years ago, right? Maybe. Now they started private labeling their own brand from some Dutch company, no-name brand. This brand did not exist 6 months ago.
They were selling somebody else's brand from Sweden to China?
Yeah, but then they lost those licensing agreements. They had to invent their own brand.
So they made their own out of nothing,
yeah.
And they sell in China only, they don't sell anywhere else.
Yeah, exactly. This is China only brand.
I think what happened, for example, the milk powder is that there were factories, for example, in the Netherlands, and they were creating new brands, right, for the China market. And I know that there was, for example, one Dutch brand that was making Origimel, it was from a Swiss factory, right, originally. And there was also a company called Neorak, they created an organic milk powder brand. But still, it's interesting to create a brand for the China market, but it's very difficult, right? Because of course, what people would like to buy is brands that already have brand recognition, right? That are already known globally, right? And that also, once you search for it, you can find it in the Netherlands or you can find it in Switzerland.
Fredrik, I think, we had some really crazy, deep conversations over lunch and my phone in Hong Kong about product certification. He knows this stuff about Europe, US. It's all different, right? Not even just China, but even US, Europe regulations on electronics. So it was one of the questions I listed for you today was, I think the dream is to sell globally, right? To have a global brand, which is hard, but how do you suggest people certify? Should they certify in all these markets?
Yeah, when it comes to compliance, you've got lab testing and you're looking at maybe 500-600 USD per product, per market, per regulation. So if you, we have a lot of customers that come to us and they want to launch in the EU, in Australia, in Japan, in the US, in Canada, because many of them are Amazon sellers, many of which are based in Greater China, mainland China, Hong Kong and so on, right? And if you multiply that 500 times 5, 2,500 times how many products? 3. It adds up, and you should be spending that money on product, right? And then it also comes down to marketing, pay-per-click, Facebook. I think it's getting really hard to compete on just SEO and organic these days, at least in the West. Yeah, I guess you have to find out if your category is covered by the CCC market, CCC. And then find out which documentation you need. That would be, say, bill of materials, test reports. Yeah, I would guess in China, I would guess that test reports are mandatory. What do you think about this?
I think just like the CFDA approval, it really depends on the product category, right? So if it's a sensitive category focusing on children, cosmetics, nutrition, healthcare, for sure.
it's true, right? It seems like in Shanghai, you guys are more interested in selling into China. Like Dominic, there's a lot of into China e-commerce. Like I'm down south, it's all export, but it seems like Shanghai is more imports, right?